the kitchen. For me, it's not just a place to cook in and eat in. It's a place to live in. And maybe I shouldn't say this because I know it's a terrible cliche, but it's true. The kitchen really is the heart of the home. And what's also true for me is that it doesn't really matter whether I've got time on my hands and I can cook slowly and leisurely, or if I'm really up against it and have to do frantically fast meals. The thing is, if I'm in the kitchen, I'm happy. My evening meal is one of the highlights of the day and something to be celebrated even when time or energy are in short supply. How could I not relish a supper called slut spaghetti? I make it out of ingredients from the store cupboard. My Spanish chicken with chorizo and potatoes has it all. Looks, taste, ease. The leftovers make the most fantastic morning after quesadillas. My no-fuss fruit tart is an absolute showstopper and it's stress-free. And when I'm dining alone, I love to treat myself to my lemony salmon with cherry tomato couscous. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think the only thing anyone should ever feel guilty about is not taking pleasure. But having said that, I do concede that the amount of enjoyment I get from eating supper in bed is almost shameful. But I need to be prepared, I'm ever hopeful, so I have to keep the ingredients in the house that enable me to rustle up a quick supper whenever I want. Pasta puttanesca, that Italian stalwart, is generally translated, on English menus anyway, as pasta cooked in the whorish fashion. Now, I'm sorry to be immodest, but I prefer my translation, slut spaghetti. The sauce, very easy. I'm going to start with some anchovies, and I have a special anchovy prizer. The thing about slut spaghetti is that there's a bit of a debate over why it's called this. Some people say it's because it's got such gutsy, almost vulgar flavours. Others say it's because it's very, very quick to make, so you could probably rustle up a dish of it in between entertaining gentlemen callers. But I think it's probably because the ingredients for it all come from tins or jars or, like anchovies, preserved. So in other words, you could be the sort of slattern who didn't go to market every day and buy fresh produce and still make this sauce. I think I ought to put some oil in this pan, just regular olive oil, nothing expensive. Ready for the anchovies to go in. I must say, I do think anchovies have an unfairly bad reputation, mostly because the ones you get on pizza are just like rusty iron. These are like tender, melting salt nuggets. Quick stir. I want some garlic. I would, if I had to, use garlic oil here, but really the whole point is that nothing about it is subtle. So I don't want hint of garlic, I want full throttle. So I'm having a second clove too. In it goes. And now, while we're keeping everything bold and brassy, quite appropriate, real bit of punch here, some dried chilies. They're so beautiful, I all too easily put too many of them in and end up really with a bowl of fire. But some like it hot, and I certainly do. Goodness me, what was I thinking of? Pasta needs to go in. Spaghetti, obviously. Try and coax these golden strands down into the water. And frankly, while the spaghetti cooks, so will the sauce, but a bit of salt first, not too much, because this is pretty salty, the sauce. Now, Madam shouldn't have to ruin her manicure now, should she? my ring pull opener. In go the tomatoes. Now this is something my mother always did, which is she didn't chop anything before, she just would get some scissors straight into the pan. And very satisfying it is too. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a bit of this to get some of the pasta water out, so I have a bit of starch from the pasta water and all the remains of the tomato in the tin. I want to throw it away. In that goes. And now some capers, caperi. Beautiful. These are nonpareil capers, little French ones. And some gorgeous shiny black olives. They are pitted, and I love the way they look like teddy bears' noses. I think I'm done. I'm just going to let this cook. So as it cooks, it will thicken slightly and all the flavours will meld together. Everything is ready. Just a bit of parsley choppage. I mean, obviously, if you don't have any parsley, no one's going to sue you. Let's see. Is it ready? The idea is that water will come out and I can land my spaghetti straight in the pan. So just a light snack. Beautiful. In deference to its name, I'm going to bed. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean I can spend all day in the kitchen cooking. I mean, sometimes I can, but at other times, you know, I need to be out and about doing stuff. But the thing about my no-fuss fruit tart, it really is what it says, a quick prep, unproblematic pud. Starts off with a digestive biscuit base, I want 375 grams, 75 grams of soft, unsalted butter. And then it's just a matter of pressing the button and blitzing. Lovely. And I can feel it has the texture of slightly damp sand, which is perfect. Just want to tip it into my deep-sided flan tin, fluted edges, and about 25 centimetres diameter. That's 10 inches in old money. Much as I love using my hands when cooking, I think the best way to do this is with the back of a spoon. The idea is to smooth everything out on the base and right up the sides so that this case of golden crumbs, once it's unmoulded, looks like a fairy tale crown. But for now, it can sit in the fridge. About 10 minutes is fine. I am going to make the filling. First, I want cream cheese, about 400 grams. I think it's important that it's been out of the fridge for a while, otherwise it's very difficult to mix smoothly. And what I'm mixing it with is lemon curd. I suppose I should feel a bit embarrassed that I'm just mixing together things from tubs and jars, but actually this lemon curd is very good. It's organic and it's very sharp, and that's important, I think. This is simplicity itself, isn't it? My gleaming lemon cream is ready. I'm just going to retrieve the base. Perfect. So it's just really a matter of putting the cream in the case. Just going to smooth it down. A little crank spatula. It's one of my favourite things. I'm trying to go carefully here because my aim, is not to muss up too much of the biscuit lining. But don't worry, you don't need to make the cream filling particularly smooth, because any minute now it's going to be covered luxuriantly with my summer berries. I'm putting the darker berries in first for dramatic background. There's something about that lemony cream that makes the blueness really stand out. The blackberries, them here and there, gleaming at me. And now raspberries. Now really, I know I should hull the strawberries, but I absolutely love the look of them with the green leafage attached. And the aesthetic consideration is important. I mean, look at those red currants, they're like jewels. Nice earrings? I mean, really, how could this not lift the heart? And it's no cooking whatsoever. While this sits in the fridge, I can be out and about. One of the things I really like about the weekend is that I can make shopping part of the whole pleasurable process rather than just a chore. And I really love being surrounded by food and thinking of all the possibilities. Right now, I need to augment some chicken thighs. I have to try and stop myself having a basket, otherwise I would get everything I see. So I'm concentrating on what I need, and what I need are some oranges. And I'm after lettuce, and I really want the crunch of cos lettuce. It's now very fashionably in the American style, called romaine, but I can't carry anything else, so I'm off. I love chorizo. I love it when it's the salami that you just slice, or the cooking sausages, which are perfect with all their paprika-ness for my chicken. Now, please, por favor, my Spanish is very bad, can I have a packet of those baby cooking chorizo? Thank you very much, gracias.